Hello everyone and welcome back for the fifth week of English 1510 Comp 1 A1217 online asynchronous at OCC. We got a couple announcements here at the start of the fifth week. Happy Monday. Welcome back from what hopefully was a little bit of a breather for some of you. I know some of you still had work you had to complete. Now, in regards to that work, there were a couple of things with discussion board postings on here. Now, with this discussion board for memoir, I did reopen that and had that go from February 18th to the 29th. But because there was some confusion back and forth, guys, I did resolve all of this right around that time where I got the messaging from a few students. But I'm going to try and give the benefit of the doubt on this, and on the memoir portion itself for the peer review, I already went ahead, and students who did that and participated, I went through and read through the commentary, and I gave grades for the most part. As long as you did those, I gave those students full credit in that area. And for right now, I'm going to excuse this for the peer review. I'm not going to mark anybody who didn't post in this one. But that's for the memoir only. That's for this one. Only because there was some point of confusion. One of the files had it open until the 25th. One had it open until the 26th. So it did cause access issue, certainly for a couple of students. Now, I extended it all the way to the 29th. I don't see that did much to address anything. I announced that and posted an additional video that was updated. I didn't see anything much. Besides a couple of students that I was in communication with, I didn't see that be of any use to anyone else. I still had only about half the students participate in this. I'm going to leave that off as a category right now until I've had some further review on these. I'm not going to mark any more grades on those. Students who did it, you got your grades. I put those in. I also want to note, though, on these guys, this forum that's closed out now, if I go back through here and we take a look at the actual instructions on that, and I go into discussion board forum and we look at what students, and I don't want to go through individual student things on those, but if we go here in this memoir component piece and you read through what actually was supposed to be addressed all the way through this and not just yes or no answers as stated here, up here in this section. Does the intro follow general to specific? Does this have the lead in at the present? Is there a complication? Does body 2 have this? There are some things where students made additional comments that were definitely in the category, in the area. But in terms of elaboration, there wasn't a great deal. I was even for the students who participated in this, I was really lenient on the review of a classmate's file. I want you to think about what you wrote in response to a classmate's piece there and whether you would actually find that useful in a review and revision of your work. I would say it hands down be no in over 50% of the submissions I did get on those, a review for classmates. There were some things more along the lines of it being a good piece and I liked this detail, but it was more along the lines of a student looking for a type of response, generic response where you say one positive thing and point out one thing of constructive criticism. Those were not the instructions on those. So I want to remind everyone with the drafting stages and things, I'm a little over halfway done with all feedback. Be the next couple of days here for both diagnostics, the peer review forum, the introduction for it. I already did the introduction ones. I got the majority of students for diagnostic. I do still have a few of those I have to publish, I think 6 or 7. I have some of them also for the memoir summary outline. I'm still doing those with some of the students. But remember, the peer review forum was supposed to be what you guys did to lead up to this submission on here for the memoir rough draft. So I extended this, and I'm keeping this extension on here for the rough draft. These are still due this Wednesday, following all of these instructions and requirements. The rubric was here, the summary outline template that you guys did already submit or were supposed to have submitted, along with the student sample memoir. The student sample memoir here for your review. Reading through this meets all the requirements of the assignment. And then on the next page here, the components that are asked for in this are all labeled, right? Shows you the different categories that you guys are being able to ask, you're being asked to accomplish in your own. So I know that some of it can be a little bit daunting to review with classmates, but you are in Comp 1 at an institution where we have systematically gone through and made sure that one of the things we're doing in the approach at a Comp 1 level is not going through and doing remediation unless that's what is in a class, like a 1510-S, which is a 6 credit hour English class that has additional component pieces that help students who need sentence level skill set and grammar, mechanics, style, punctuation, and those things. With the exception of a peer review forum that we have, and then the tutoring that's available to you guys at the school, I'm not going to be going through every week and marking all these sentence level things, but I am going to take the points away for them not being correct. When it came to MLA format and the diagnostics, students had in the diagnostic drop box here, there are a couple of different things, right? MLA formatting basics, they're listed right here on this page that was in this link. And if you look at this page down here at the bottom that shows you the sample of it, I want you to ask yourself, what you submitted on diagnostic and now with rough draft on memoir, does the formatting look anything like this that was required for those? More than 50% of the class would have to say no, because you didn't follow any of these. It's not only does it not follow this formatting, it's not Times New Roman, it's not 12-point font, it's not double space, a number of things. And these are just little basics that have to be followed in this, guys. This is also in part of the reading, but these links are included here. And if we go back to this page, there are a number of other little minimum basic things that were listed on this. When it says things on this, having things like not using second person and the minimum on word count, and having the layout of an intro, one body paragraph and a conclusion, those are very straightforward on there. And then one of the things that, if you scroll down here under instructional links, as I mentioned in week 1, I believe week 1 and 2, but MLA paper formatting down here under instructional links, for those of you who did not learn this in high school, remember, you come into Comp 1, these are basic skill sets that have to be applied from those. These aren't things that we go over in terms of the Comp 1 level. It should just be content and context for the response on these, not going through and marking you have comma splices, misspelled words, run-on sentences, all these other things. It should just be the basics of those formatting. And this is included here as well, which is the same link on this, along with going back, sorry I skipped on there, guys, the formatting and those, along with these other things and coordination, subordination that are included here for students who need them. Right above that is also the MLA formatting video that takes you to the external source here, that if you play this, it walks you through the exact formatting on those. So there's really not any reason that anyone should not have this done correctly from the outset. Okay, those are supplied in part of the requirements from the word go. Now, I'm going to go back one more time. The screen's going to flip, and we'll go back into what we're doing for this week, nothing additional being added. Back to this page here where that link was, guys. So here on the 4th week was completed for those with discussion board things, and I adjusted that for February 29th. I had a buy-in from 2/3 of the class posted, but I think less than half actually responded to and reviewed to classmates. So now, this week, the rough draft is due, and in the rough draft that you're posting, many students are now doing this with no other type of feedback except that they go through the ETS data. Remember, once rough drafts are in on these, I just go and review them for format, content, and context. Does it look correct? Did you meet all the basic requirements? Is it the 5 required paragraphs for the assignment? Do they meet the requirements of the general to specific intro with a lead-in thesis? Is there, in this content itself, with the general specific in the intro and the thesis, do those things follow the parameters that are laid out here? The body 1 ending in a complication, body 2 advancing the story ending in the impasse, body 3 resolving the complication, and then a lesson and moral of the story. Does the submission follow those basics, and is it in MLA format and everything's correct and there aren't a bunch of spelling and grammar and mechanical issues? That's what I will be responding to in posting draft credit. starting on these ones, I'm not going through and going line by line. All this needs to be, the spelling here is wrong and all these other remediation style of issues. So if you're not going to participate in a peer review forum, remember, you're supposed to be doing this with your classmates as a review of those particular requirements for this assignment. As I just noted in that peer review forum, everyone was supposed to address the intro, the lead-in thesis, the body, the complication, body 1 with complication, body 2 with ending in the impasse, body 3 of the resolution, then conclusion of the moral and lesson of the story. Many students did not review and offer that to an actual classmate. It was just a brief couple of sentences on basic review. It didn't offer anything of substance. I also want to note, on diagnostics this week, I'm posting those up with those tutoring recommendations. Remember, that's here under academic support services. If we click on this and go to the addition of this page here with the ASC, tutoring resources are listed here. There's an app you can download. You can look up the writing schedule for these tutors down over here. They're virtual and in person. Any of those you guys can utilize, but you should utilize them, especially if you know that you have sentence level issues. Everyone in the class is required to do 1 per semester. On the diagnostics so far, you got about half of the students. The recommendations are YTR, your tutoring recommendation, YTR 1, 2, or 3. Students who got a 1, that means I'm just recommending the basic 1 tutoring session for the semester. A 2 means once during every drafting stage. A 3 means at least going twice every time we're drafting on these things. So you're getting about 6 of them in by the end of the semester. So it's going to be 1, 3 to 6 of those sessions. That is recommended. I can't force you to do it, but if you don't, that grade at the sentence level certainly will suffer. So here in week 5, you guys, I'm still keeping this on as the assignment that we're doing. Week 4, this right now is what's due on the 6th. I'm going to leave the final draft on here for next Wednesday of the 13th. That should give us all time to make sure we're doing tutoring sessions, revisions. I should, over the next couple of days, have everyone's summary and outline and diagnostic posted, so that I give you an idea on your summary and outline whether or not you met the basic requirements in this and layout, and in diagnostic whether or not you got a lot of sentence level issues that need to be addressed and how much tutoring should be involved. I will say, however, most of you know that you need tutoring if you have that abundance. There's an abundance of those type of issues, right? Make sure you're not skimping on that, because you're not going to be progressing if you just submit assignment after assignment with the same types of errors. So for week 5, the readings on here, make sure you've completed those. As I mentioned before, there are going to be at least 2 quizzes that open up in your guys' quizzes file up here in the term that pertain just to the reading, particularly when we start rhetorical analysis. They're pretty short. You get a certain amount of time to go in, or you get an attempt. Sorry, not time. You get an attempt to do them. But if you're not doing the reading, it's going to be difficult for those of you who have not to actually complete those quizzes. The memoir final draft next Wednesday, and then in week 6, this is going to be our halfway point of the semester. We are going to be beginning rhetorical analysis, and in this next discussion board, guys, I'm going to be much more strict about who's posting what and when and how. Okay, we need to make sure we're actually addressing the things that are asked for in that rhetorical analysis review of one another's work. All right, so I look forward to seeing those drafts this week. Make sure those get done. You got any questions, let me know. Remember, instant messaging here at the top. I had a couple of students shooting me emails. I won't be responding to those. If you did not open communication with me here and I didn't deem it necessary to change up the communication policy for the course, that's not the way that we're doing these. I don't do that anymore at all. I use the instant messaging on the platform because it just gets too difficult to follow the train of communication if students don't follow these. This is built into the platform for us, okay? So guys, let me know again if you got questions. Good luck on the work. I look forward to seeing the next round.